that we learned during this, wonderful conference, and so we will. I present myself for those who doesn't know me. I'm Brigitte Wada. I am a president of the Women's Federation in France and also vice president Europe, Women's Federation Europe. So I'm very happy to be able to be moderator. Sorry for my French accent. I'm trying my best to speak English as the best as possible. So now we will start with, because during this weekend we had the chance to, we have so many different associations, and I would like to say that Women's Federation for World Peace is really trying to develop partnerships with many other associations to work together. As we mentioned many times during this conference, we mentioned that we need to work together to be able to bring peace, and substantial peace, not just peace, but substantial peace, and so we need each other. So this is one important thing, that one of the projects of the Women's Federation as well is a Global Women Peace Network. So this is also why we are doing here. And for this reason also, we wanted, among all of you, I know you have many other associations, but 3 associations that we like to present, they had not the chance to do it during this time, so we give them the floor to be able to share their own association and activities. So, yes. So they have 7 minutes each, so I just want to say. So I know we are a little bit strict with the time, but we try to do our best. So our first participant, our first speaker, is Mrs. Ninetta Kazantzis. Yes. So she's an educational psychologist born in Limassol, a city which is not so far away from here. I heard a beautiful city, even bigger than Larnaca, isn't it? So she has been active in promoting children's rights and in fighting against poverty since the beginning. And this is her main activities. And also she will speak about the Mediterranean Children's Movement. She's based in Malta, and she's a general secretary of this movement. So I would like to give her the floor, right?
Good morning. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with you over these past 2 days. They have been really interesting, revealing, and I'm privileged to be among all of you. So thank you very much. Well, we advocate for women, for their right to be part in all processes in decision-making as much as men, for their ability to bring the different, the alternative perspectives to problem-solving and to seeking peace. And we advocate for children, for the future, whilst we see this future shattered by war, conflict, and extreme violation of human rights and human dignity. We strive for justice, equality, and peace. The Mediterranean Children's Movement is a new founded organization. It's an NGO based in Malta, as we heard. They need to put children at the heart of the Mediterranean agenda, be it government, civil society, community, family as well. Children are our future, but we need to remember that they're also our present. They are here with us every moment, now. The Mediterranean governments, unfortunately, and civil society are not really into children's rights. We need to fight for children. We need to create safe spaces for children in the Mediterranean and elsewhere. Children need safety, and they deserve actually quality of life and to live in peace and in prosperity. On a daily basis, we see that children, at least in our region, in the Middle East, we see their life and their health and their development directly damaged by issues such as poverty, migration, violence, war, inadequate healthcare, inadequate education, inadequate housing, climate change, as we all said, lack of children's participation, which is core to our work. Now we need to stress, and I need to stress really, that the Mediterranean is a region with a special identity that should be celebrated as well as recognized. Children and young people must get to know the commonalities, our common history, our similarities, and understand that that's our beauty, and not allow differences to actually divide us, what is actually happening right now. There are also great disparities between the north and the south of the Mediterranean. Indeed they are. Actually, we know that the EU member states, as the north of the Mediterranean, face poverty. Yes, they do, but in a very different way than countries in the south face poverty in the same way, like conflict and war. War zones in the south of the Mediterranean are much more violent, different than what the North Mediterranean and the EU states face. And we've seen this happening also in the climate change. We've seen this year the wildfires in Spain, in Greece, then we had the floods in Italy, then we had earthquakes in Morocco, in Turkey. In all our countries, we've seen this climate change really taking stock of people and of children and of our future. Now, poverty in the EU, as I said, does exist, and I want us to remember that we have more than 20% of people at risk of experiencing poverty in what we call the rich and developed and whatever else region countries in the planet. The violation of children's rights and the violation of women's rights in the same way. War and conflict violates our human rights, our basic, our fundamental rights. And we didn't ask for war, actually. You all said that. It's not women that make war, it's not children that make war. But we need to really stick together. We need to fight together for peace, for understanding, for building together that future for our children and for ourselves. I just quote something that the kids in the Mediterranean Children's Movement Children's Council said: stop the war, we want it over. Children are terrified, anxious, living in fear, deprived of their rights. What happens now? Death, migration, poverty, families split, children separated and lost. Please, stop. So that's a testimony. I mean it was shocking to us what they said more than last week, actually, end of October. Now we as the Mediterranean Children's Movement condemn all violence against children and deplore the horrendous disregard of children's human rights in the Middle East. For over 1 million innocent children, it's not just a few, it's a lot of children. Without justice and equal rights, there cannot be peace. Human rights and international humanitarian law are being violated, and we must stand with the WHO, with the UNRWA, with the people, with the law. We must stand up for children if we want to stand up for our future. Keep quiet when children are asleep, not when they are murdered. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kazantzis, to defend children's rights, and especially in the Mediterranean area as well. It's also it's good to be aware of what's going on. So now I'd like to give the first Nargis Hassanzai. So I will read a bit more of her biography. Sorry. So Professor Nargis Hassanzai Moment, Kabul University, World Peace Award winner, Best Book of 2019 award, a bachelor's and master degree from Kabul University, first female spoken person of Kabul municipality in 2019, senior advisor to the Deputy Minister of Defense, Director of Information and Public Awareness during the High Presidential Office tenure, member of the Cultural Committee at the Ministry of Cultural Affairs, active member of the Women's Advocacy Network, committee member of the Strategic Partnership for Media and Afghan Government, overseeing spoken person for all 34 provinces, member of the Peace, Reconstruction of Afghanistan and Culture Committee in Germany. So we heard already a bit of our testimony yesterday. It was very moving, very touching. So I would like to give the floor to Professor Nargis Hassanzai.
I am from a country where girls don't go to school above the sixth class. I am from a country where girls cannot join university. I am from a country where girls are not allowed to work. I am from a country where girls could not have any medical care. I am from a country where women cannot be doctors. I am from a country where men are not allowed to treat women. I am from a country where girls are sold, sometimes because of having no hope, sometimes because of poverty, and sometimes because of tradition. From last night, everyone is asking me that what was your story. Maybe mine one was more as a traditional one, and the lucky one that every time several people come in my life and they wanted to something happen in my life wrong and try to sell me but could never. First time, then second time, then third time. So I'm the most lucky. And this was, as I yesterday also said, that's why we need educated women. That's why we need educated mom. That's why it is the reason we are fighting for women. We are fighting for educated women. And the reason that now I'm standing behind of you all. And of course I'm stronger and stronger than yesterday, and then every day is all because of my mom and because of an educated mom. So I am from a country by the name of Afghanistan. I am from a country where women in highly level, they are beaten in public, and this is allowed. Anybody could beat her in public, it is allowed. And I'm from a country where high range of women commit suicide every day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to attend this conference. I would like to thank all the organizers for kindly inviting me for this important event. I stand before you today to draw your attention to a critical issue in 21st century, along neglecting region in the heart of Asia by the name of Afghanistan. This land has been ravaged by warfare for nearly 4 decades and hit hard by poverty, where the mere status of being a woman is always stigmatized, and where the universal word freedom is always missed. First, I wish to convey my profound solidarity with the nations that are facing absence of peace, including Afghanistan, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, and Iraq, and Syria. In fact, Afghanistan have been going through all these miseries from decades. I wish all these people strength, hope, and peace. Ladies and gentlemen, today in Europe, we are talking about gender equality, while in Afghanistan, women are still fighting for the basic right of education, work, and freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's just think that if your daughter could not go to school only for 1 day, so just think, how is your feeling? How you people think? Indeed, it's horrifying. Indeed, just think, for 2 days, your daughter could not go to school, so how is your feeling? However, you want to send your daughter to school, but you could not. So just think, this is the feeling that everyone who is living in my country, every father have feeling like this, but they could not do anything for their daughters. Now in my country, from 5 million girls, only 1.5 million girls go to school. And it is only above sixth class. And the girls are there that they could not join their school at least above the 3rd class. It is my country. Of course, whatever we are facing as an Afghan, as a one from Afghanistan, it is very hard. It is very hard. It's so difficult for me, and we don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. Nobody deserves it. Of course, I went to school, I went to university, I have my high qualification, I was working in Afghanistan, I was professor, I was director, I had everything in my country. But suddenly 15th of August 2021 was the day that everything was taken from me. I was not anymore a professor, I was not anymore any activist, I was not anymore nothing. So everything was taken from me, I don't have any identity. Of course, I lost my everything. And I was in Afghanistan after Taliban. I was 8 months in Afghanistan after Taliban. You know, sometimes some people, when I was there, some people, I was just hearing that he, she, or anybody say, yeah, I'm stressed. He is stressed, she is stressed. So I was just thinking that what is this word being stressed? How is this stress? Oh, no, I don't think so. There is something by the name of stress. But first time in my life, I just by my own experience what is really stress. And it is, I experienced while Taliban came, and I was just like a housewife for 8 months. And this 8 months, I was just changing several times my location only because of the threat I and my family got. I was supposed to change my house. I was supposed to change my location more than 5 times on that 8 months. But I was the lucky one again. I'm always the one who I keep my own self. I give power by my own self for myself. I was just trying hard to how could I get rid of this situation. So finally, I got to Germany. I went to Germany, and now I am living in Germany for last 1 year and a few months. So when I came to Germany, I was thinking, okay, what can I do now? What should I do now? Of course, the situation that I had and the connection of my heart that I still had with my students, with my class, with the class that I was teaching, with the students, with the girls, when they were talking with me, I could not forget that. So I just think, what can I do now? So I start from zero. What can I do? The only thing I have, the knowledge I have is I could make classes for them. So let's make classes for them. Of course, I could not go to Afghanistan, so let's make online classes for them. And I was supposed to make online classes. And for the first time, I had only 5 students in my class, but now I have more than 100 students in my class. For the first time, I was the only teacher in my, I was the only teacher, but now I have several teachers around me. I start registering my foundation in Germany. Of course, the registration process is not that much easy in Germany, but the good point for me is that I already received the acceptance by the Farkhunda Foundation. So I have now online classes. I am still in touch with the girl. I just, by the help of friends that we have, I'm sending them to some scholarship. I'm trying hard for them to find some scholarship for them and to make them more powerful, like everyone wants. You know, as we say that every woman, the strongest woman is the woman who had rebuilt herself. So I think I was the one that I rebuilt myself after that. And this was the reason that today I am here among you. Of course, there is that indeed these online classes, underground classes can solve our problem. Exactly, permanent action should be taken. International community should amplify the pledge of Afghan women. We seek support for women in Afghanistan. We seek support for their education. We seek support for their humanitarian aid. And we assist them for all across the world. There are several people in Iran, in Pakistan, they are waiting for evacuation. I kindly request every one of you who could evacuate these people. Maybe there are several other people like me waiting for the kind people like you. So I eagerly anticipate the day when not only Afghanistan, but nations across the world, where women are steadfastly advocating for their fundamental rights, will finally attain the rights they deserve and experience peace within their countries. The last thing I just wanted to add that brilliant thing happened in your life when women support each other. So we would have a peaceful country, we would have a peaceful nation, we would have a peaceful world when we support each other. I am here today among you because somebody is there, she supports you, and she's Brigitte. Thanks from every one of you. And the last thing I just wanted to add that I wear these clothes. This is my Afghani traditional. The reason for wearing this heavy clothes is just to show you that this is my tradition. My tradition is as colorful as my clothes. My tradition is not as you are seeing in media, but covered completely by black hair. It's not like that. This is my tradition, and this is my country. My country is as powerful, as colorful like my these clothes.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hassanzai. It's really touching, and it's important to understand, about what you went through, also until you come to Germany. And the importance also of education is very, very important. Sometimes in the Western world, but even our children don't take that enough seriously about education. But people who are struggling, they really want education. Sometimes our children don't want to go to school, so it's really sad in a way. So okay, we come to the next one.